Artificial intelligence can now write essays, create images that never existed, clone human voices, and generate videos that look completely real. Just a few years ago, this sounded impossible. Today, it's normal. And that's exactly why some people are starting to ask an uncomfortable question. Is AI just powerful technology, or is it becoming a system of deception? When AI researchers, engineers, and scientists warn that even they don't fully understand where this technology is heading, it makes people pause. Across the internet, AI is no longer discussed only in terms of productivity or innovation. It is being linked to end times narratives, spiritual deception, and figures like the Antichrist or the Dajjal. Is this fear justified, or are we projecting ancient prophecies onto modern technology? And most importantly, why is this conversation happening now and not 10 or 15 years ago? This video does not claim that AI is Dajjal, and it does not dismiss the concerns people have. Instead, we investigate using real examples, global search data, and online behavior patterns to understand why artificial intelligence is being interpreted through the language of deception and end times. Let's begin. Before we go any further, it's important to be clear about one thing. This video is not based on rumors, it's not built on fear, and it's not repeating what someone else said. Every claim you'll hear in this video is backed by data, publicly available trends, and real online behavior. We analyzed global search patterns, studied how interest in AI, Dajjal, and Antichrist narratives has evolved over time, and examined how millions of people are reacting to this topic online. Not to convince you of anything, but to understand why this conversation exists at all. Because whether you believe these ideas or not, one thing is undeniable. People around the world are searching, watching, and asking serious questions. Ignoring that curiosity doesn't make it disappear, understanding it does. If you're interested in thoughtful, evidence based discussions about technology, AI, and how it's shaping human belief and behavior, consider subscribing, not for answers, but for better questions. Now, let's look at the data that started all of this. A few days ago, I was scrolling through videos online when I came across one question that immediately caught my attention. Is AI just artificial intelligence? Or does AI mean AI, the one I? The video was referring to Dajjal in Islamic belief and the Antichrist in Christian belief. At first, I dismissed it. It sounded symbolic, even speculative, but the idea didn't leave my mind. Not because I agreed with it, but because of why people are asking this question at all. As I listened to different creators discussing this topic, I noticed something interesting. They weren't all saying the same thing, but they were pointing to similar themes. Themes like deception, illusion, influence without being seen, and control over perception. For example, some creators talk about how AI can now generate images, voices, and videos that look completely real, even when they are not. Others point out how AI systems influence what people see, read, and believe without a physical presence. And in one interview, an AI scientist explains how algorithms shape attention and perception, not because of evil intent, but because of optimization and engagement. I'm not saying these similarities prove anything, but they explain why the comparison exists. I want to be clear at this point. I am not saying AI is the Dajjal. I am not claiming AI is the Antichrist. And I am not trying to create a controversial or fear based video. I don't want to go deep into this theory in a way that makes claims. Instead, I want to understand something much simpler. Why are so many people right now interpreting artificial intelligence through the language of end times and deception? To answer that honestly, we need to move away from opinions and look at data. Before showing any patterns, it's important to be transparent about the evidence being used. Everything you see next is based on publicly available data that I personally analyzed. Nothing is assumed, nothing is exaggerated. I have used Google Trends to analyze data, and these data sets show how often people searched for these terms over time. They do not tell us what people believe, they tell us what people are curious about. What the trends clearly show, from 2004 until around 2018, search interest for both AI Dajjal and AI Antichrist is almost zero. There is no steady discussion, no long term trend. This tells us something important. The idea of connecting AI with end times deception is not ancient, it is recent. Around 2019, the searches begin to appear, not as a dramatic spike, but as a signal. This timing matters because this is the same period when AI becomes visible to everyday users through chatbots, image generation, voice cloning, and recommendation algorithms. The data doesn't explain why people are searching, but it clearly shows when the curiosity starts. From 2022 onward, interest increases faster, and by 2024 and 2025, search interest for both terms reaches its highest levels ever recorded. This is not a slow cultural shift, it is a rapid response to a fast changing technology. Another important observation: searches for AI Dajjal and AI Antichrist rise and fall almost together. Different words, different religious traditions, but nearly the same timing. This suggests that people across cultures are responding to the same phenomenon and describing it using their own belief language. When we look at where these searches come from, they are spread across multiple regions: North America, Europe, South Asia, parts of Africa, and the Middle East. This is not limited to one country or one community, it is global curiosity. So when people compare AI with the Dajjal or the Antichrist, it doesn't begin with theology, it begins with timing. A powerful technology appears, reality becomes harder to trust, and people look for language to explain that discomfort. For some, that language comes from religion. This data does not prove that AI is the Dajjal, and it does not confirm any prophecy. What it does show very clearly is this: the interpretation of AI as deception is rising, recent and global. And that raises an important question. So far, we've seen why this question exists, when it started, and what the data actually proves, and what it doesn't. But this is only half the story. In the next part, we'll go deeper. We'll look at how YouTube and social media amplify this curiosity, which specific AI features trigger end times comparisons, and the psychology behind why humans link new technology to prophecy. Most importantly, we'll balance fear with facts and leave the final decision to you. Part 2 is already planned. If you want to continue this investigation, do not forget to subscribe and comment part 2 so I know you're ready. Because understanding AI isn't just about technology, it's about understanding ourselves.